Welcome, everyone. This is the Podshirt Network podcast. Now I'm here with my guest for this episode. He's a man I met a long time ago, but this is a really funny man that I got a chance to know years ago, and he's here with me today. It's Tim Lucas. Say hello, Tim.
Hello. Thank you, Dan.
Yes,
And thank you for having me on the show.
and thank you for being here, Tim. It's good to have you. I always wanted to get to the city of Chicago. I think Chicago is a beautiful and big city where we can do a lot of things. And you spent some time in Chicago back in the early 80s. In fact, you was a college student. It was, I hope I say this right, Loyola University Chicago. And you
Yes, I
graduated
went
in
to
1980.
Loyola.
Okay. I just want to know, what was life like? You as a young man going to college in the Chicago area. I just want to know what life was like in the early 80s in Chicago. What do you remember about going to college there?
I remember that I didn't have a car, that I used the public transportation for the 4 years I went to college. I lived with my parents and took the buses and the L trains to Loyola and back. So I learned more
Uh,
on the CTA than I learned at school.
What it is for people that are guests on my podcast, I asked them to provide a music playlist because I believe everyone has a soundtrack to their life. And Tim Lucas, you're no different. There's music that you care about, that you think is your favorite, or you just find very interesting. Now, what you've done in advance, you've given me 3 tracks that I know in advance that we will talk about, and then later on in the interview, you're going to surprise me with 3 more tracks. So, Tim, I'm going to go ahead and get started. You sent me the first track. The very first track you sent me was a song called Homeward Bound, and that was by Paul Simon. Now, I've heard of Paul Simon. Yeah, I wasn't super familiar with the song Homeward Bound, but the only thing I can think of is we talked earlier that you was in Dayton, Ohio at one point doing stand-up comedy, and that's how I met you. And recently you moved back to Chicago, Illinois. So I'm thinking Chicago must mean a lot to you that you found a way to get back there. So I just want to know from you, Tim Lucas, you was in Dayton, but what happened that made you decide that you need to leave Dayton and go back to your original home of Chicago?
Well, the job I had offered early retirement when I turned 59, and I always wanted. I was born and raised here in Chicago, so I wanted to go back home, and that's why I did that. So yeah, I was in Troy, Ohio, which is a suburb of Dayton, and I'd been in. Before that, I'd been in Gahanna, which is a suburb of Columbus, but part of me has always been from Chicago, so I figured that's what I should do. So.
Absolutely. Now, I'm just curious, what's a fun thing to do while you're in Chicago? Because I want to go to visit the city one day. What do you recommend a fun thing to do while you're in Chicago?
Well, the sightseeing, I mean, I haven't taken the boat tour on the Chicago River, but there's a great boat tour like that, or just driving around to see the architecture. It's amazing. And it depends on what time of year you're here, what to do.
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, there's always a baseball game, for example, during the summer.
Yeah, it's Wrigley Field.
Yeah, and Sox Park as well. It has a different name every year, so we just call it Sox Park.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely would like to go to those 2 baseball fields, and also Soldier Field, which that's where the Bears play. And then
right.
Also, growing up, one of my favorite athletes was Michael Jordan. I just love watching him play basketball. Of course, the Bulls, they play at the United Center, so that'd be another place I'd like to, whether it's a basketball game, or maybe a concert, I'd like to get to United Center. That's something that'd be on my bucket list to do in Chicago.
There's the hockey, the Blackhawks play there too, so.
Okay. Absolutely. Well, those are some good options there, Tim. Let's go ahead and talk about the second track that is on your personal soundtrack. You had a song called Desperado, and that song was originally performed by the Eagles, or just Eagles.
Right.
But first, my question would be about the Desperado part. Desperado, it's a Spanish term that just means desperate. Of course, that was a big hit song in the late 70s. But I guess anyone can be desperate at times. I figured this could be an interesting subject. Tim, I want to ask you, was there a time in your life that you felt desperate? Maybe you were out of money, maybe your girlfriend broke up with you, something along that line. Was there something, what was a moment in your life where you felt desperate?
That was right after I graduated from college and I couldn't get a job, and I graduated in 1980 from Loyola University.
That's right.
So then, while I was going around job to job and not getting anywhere, I would hear Desperado all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm not going to say it's fond memories, but, it makes you stronger, right?
Yes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Absolutely.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And it was on their album Hotel California, and I hate that song, Hotel California.
Oh, yeah, there's a controversy with that song. But, well, I guess I'm going to ask you about the Eagles then, because, they were the ones that originally performed Desperado. Would you consider yourself a huge fan of the Eagles? Are they your favorite band ever?
No, because I dislike Hotel California so much.
Oh.
So, I mean, I don't know all the music that it's going to play in hell, but once a day, everyone has to hear Hotel California.
Yeah, somehow, there's a retro station playing that song. They shot themselves in the foot by just being repetitive with Hotel California, the Desperado making people feel desperate. They may have shot themselves in the foot doing all that.
Right, New Kid in Town is good, and Peaceful Easy Feeling. I mean, a lot of their songs are good. It's just some overhyped and all that.
I can agree with that. Let's talk about the next track that you provide for me. It's a song called "Achy Breaky Heart." It's performed by Billy Ray Cyrus, and I remember this song. This came out in the early '90s. But before I ask you a question, I have fond memories of my grandparents loved this song as well. It came out, you could dance to it. I just remember Billy and he had that mullet and that music. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was when the first time I moved to Ohio, and that was near Columbus, and I would drive around. I was doing improv in Columbus, so driving around to the different gigs and practices, I would be hearing Achy Breaky Heart all the time. So whenever I think of I-270, I think of Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yes, absolutely. That was his big hit. I just think whenever he had the best mullet ever. So when I think of mullets, I think of him and that song. And of course, his family's done quite well. Of course, he has two daughters, Noah Cyrus and yes, they've done quite well for him. And Miley Cyrus, they've made music and they've lasted quite some time. Well, I know that was a country song. So Tim, are you a fan of country music?
Right. Yeah, that's one of my long-standing jokes. That I don't like music. That's why I listen to country. But the idea is often, not all country songs, but a lot of country songs tell a good story, and that's what I like sometimes.
Yes, good. I agree with that. And I think I remember you telling that joke because I saw you perform a few times years ago. That cracked me up. It's absolutely, Tim. Now, those are three songs that you were nice enough to let me know in advance. But you're now going to surprise me. We're going to talk about three more songs, and I don't know about them ahead of time. You're just going to surprise me, and I'll think why this is on your mind. But go ahead and tell me this is going to be track number 4 on your personal soundtrack. What is the 4th track to your playlist, Tim?
It's a song almost as old as I am. It's El Paso by Marty Robbins.
Okay, I think I remember that down.
Out in the West Texas town of El Paso. It's really a poem, but with the music background, and it's one of my karaoke go-tos.
Oh, right. I know you did karaoke, and I kind of do remember that song after you mentioned the lyrics. That was probably the 70s, I reckon.
Oh no, even earlier than that.
Oh, that was the 60s.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Marty Robbins had a lot of country, cowboy songs.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, when I got my car, back in those days, the 8-track, you got 10 8-tracks for a penny from Columbia House. So one of them was Hotel California, but another one was Marty Robbins' Greatest Hits. Another was Simon and Garfunkel. So I don't have all those. I don't have those CDs and those 8-tracks anymore. But I remember driving around listening to them.
All right. Well, that's a good memory, Tim. Now let's go ahead and talk about the 5th track that is on your personal soundtrack. What is that, Tim?
Well, my go-to song when I do karaoke is "My Way."
Oh, okay.
And it was written by Paul Anka, most famously performed by Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
But my favorite version is the Elvis Presley version.
Oh, okay.
Because when Elvis sings it, he rallies at the end. That he's proud to say, "I did it my way."
Yes.
When Frank Sinatra ends his song, it's kind of offhand, and "I did it my way." But Elvis is, "I did it my way." So I don't sing karaoke, but I do perform it. So.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the greatest songs of all time. I'll tell you a version that I like. There was a band called the Three Tanners. Now, Frank, yes, you may have heard that version, but yes, I just think that version is beautiful because they're an opera. It's an opera setting pretty much, and you got like the opera instruments playing. I just think it took that song and made it like Frank Sinatra's was great, and I haven't heard Elvis's. Yeah, I will later since you suggested it because didn't know he did that song. I listened to the Three Tanners version, and it's just next level performing. Just when they stretch out. My Way, they really stretch it out where you get an extra you got a few extra seconds to think about the message behind the song. I did it my way, and
that's right.
Yes, it's just pointing it, and so yeah, that's a good choice for your playlist, Tim. And now you got one more surprise for me, as you did. You gave me a third surprise track. So Tim, what is your 6th song on your playlist that we're going to feature when people listen to this?
Well, it's the perfect country and western song.
Okay.
The guy who wrote it submitted it to the singer, and after reading it, I realized that my friend had written the perfect country and western song. But he didn't say anything at all about mama, or trains, or trucks, or prison, or getting drunk. So he sat down and wrote another verse of the song, and the last verse goes like this here.
Okay.
It's called "You Never Even Call Me By My Name," and it's performed by David Allan Coe, written by Steve Goodman.
Okay. Good.
Some bot actually yesterday sent me "How you doing, handsome darling?" And I answered back to the bot, "You don't have to call me darling."
I will definitely listen to that song because I have never heard that song. I had heard of David Allan Coe. I had heard of him, but he was way before my time. So I'm taking your word on it for that. But so I have a question. I guess it's about David Allan Coe then, because you mentioned his song. But when was David Allan Coe? Like, how old was he when he was making music in your age? Was he in his 20s when he started making music?
Right. So yeah, he's like all of my favorites are so old, right? I mean, I'm thinking that Never Even Call Me, but that was like the 80s. I mean.
Okay.
So. That's I'd say I saw him live in Columbus, and he had an Ohio song that he sang as well, and he had the ride where he gets a ride from the ghost of Hank Williams.
Okay.
So, he one of those the outlaw type country, sort of something like Willie and Waylon.
Okay. Well, your recommendation, I'll definitely listen to it, and I'll let the viewers reminder at home that once you listen to this interview, every song that he's mentioned, I will make into a playlist, and you'll enjoy that playlist after this interview. That's what I do with the guests that appear on this. So it's kind of like a soundtrack. Everyone has a soundtrack, and that is a true statement. And Tim, you provide me with an excellent soundtrack. I have one more question I want to ask you before I leave you today. You are back in Chicago, and you I guess two questions. One, are you still a stand-up comedian? Do you still do that?
Yes, I'm still doing that. I'm semi-retired. I'm retired from a real job, but I go to open mics and do shows. Next week I've got one here in Chicago, and in September I'll be out in Las Vegas. There's a thing called the World Series of Comedy, which is like a convention kind of thing for comics. And the shows are going to be streamed. I don't know exactly how, but I know that they will be. So anyone can watch the show, and I'm there in the middle of September in Las Vegas. So that'll be nice.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'd like to go back to Dayton. I was at Bricky's earlier this year, so I've been to Dayton. I've come back for shows there, and if Dave Chappelle ever reopens Wiley's, I'll be back there.
Well, wishful thinking there, but yeah, if he does,
I know.
Yeah, yes. For those that don't know at home, Wiley's was a nice comedy club in downtown Dayton, Ohio. But sometime last year they closed its doors. Now we don't know if we're hoping maybe reopens, because I guess if new owners can get a hold of it and then reopen it, so it's possible it could come back. But we don't know. That is up in the air right now. But I do want to know from you, Tim, since you are in Chicago, if I ever do come to Chicago, what's a place that you like to perform at? Because I would like to see you perform in Chicago. So what's a good venue that we could see you perform at in the future?
Well, there's the Red Room, the comedy club, REDROM, Red Room.
Okay.
They have an open mic every Wednesday. So I mean, but the amazing thing here is there's so many comics. If you decide to go to an open mic, you got to get there an hour early. But since I'm retired, that's no problem. I show up an hour early, and then I get a spot. But the Red Room is better than most bar shows because it's a separate stage, and that's more important. Everyone in the room should be paying attention to the comic, but when they have it in the bar area of other places, then there's customers there that aren't there. It's ambush comedy.
Yeah.
There were some places in Dayton like that where they didn't know ahead of time that there was going to be comedy, and they would force it on them. The Barrel House does that, and not everyone there is ready for it.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I guess to explain it to the audience, like a lot of these open mic places, and even some regular comedy clubs, they have they have like a bar, people go and drink, but sometimes there's a dance floor. Like there's people kind of like go to these places to do various activities, and you make a good point, Tim. Some people don't know if there's going to be a comedy show that night or not. Everything's in one space, and not everyone is willing to. They're not in the mode to like just sit down, listen to the comedy of the people that are on stage doing comedy. But you make a good point. That is actually an excellent feature for the Red Room. They made a separate room like for people that perform comedy. There's a stage. It's like boxed in. People go in and they watch. That is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, that's what Bricky's is like that. I don't know exactly what suburb of Dayton it's in, but the stage is in a separate room. It's not like it's part of the whole building. Yes.
Well, you know what? Will do. So I will put that on my bucket list, the Red Room, and I hope to go to Chicago within the next few years. So with any luck, I will catch you doing a show. And Tim, I hope you're living a wonderful life in Chicago.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for calling and setting this all up.
And thank you. So good luck to you and the rest of the shows you do this year. And thank you for the interview. Tim, good luck to you.
Thank you, and thank you, Dayton. Yay!
Yes, yay. Yay to Tim Lucas. All right. Goodbye, sir. Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
This past summer, I did an interview with Brandon Berry from the Dayton Daily News. He is a writer that covers arts, music, and various other entertainments within the Miami Valley of Ohio. And I sat down with him to talk about why I created the Podshirt Network and various other aspects of the new channel. And you can check out that story right now at the link below this video. And he writes a lot of things, not just my story, but he has something every week. He's one of the best writers in all of Dayton, Ohio. I was really impressed how my story went. So please check that out. If you like this episode and other past episodes, please like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And until the next time, just remember, good music is not dead.
Okay, so I'm just going to do this. I'm having a vulnerable moment. I am so overwhelmed, so stressed out with a lot that's happening, not just in my personal life, but in business. There's a lot of things changing in my nonprofit. As many of you know, funding is being cut. There already isn't a lot of funding for women and girls. It's like 1%, and now it's being cut, and especially for survivors. That's what I do. I work with women survivors in Chicago and nationwide. We have this fundraiser coming up in October. It'll take place at Zanies in Rosemont, and we really need help selling tickets. Tickets are actually only $45. The reason I did this event this year was because we normally do our Casino Night Gala, which is a big fancy event that happens every year. It's a lot of work and it was very stressful. So I said, I'm not doing that this year. It's also really expensive to put on that event. So I was like, let's try to find something that's not as expensive to put on. So we came up with the comedy night. It's gonna be an all women lineup of comedians. And, you know, the bigger cause is to help us raise money so that we can continue offering free mental health services to women and girls survivors of sexual and domestic abuse. We have seen a lot less donations coming in the last few months. We've seen smaller sponsorship donation amounts coming in from our supporters. So we're definitely feeling the hit of everything that's happening in the economy right now. And I get that and I understand. So if you have a couple of extra dollars, like $45, $50, and you want to come to Zanies and just really support a really great cause, be around other women that are there for the same reasons, and just be there to laugh and have a great time. Best thing is this is a matinee show. It starts at 4 p.m. Doors open at 3 p.m. so you can go look at all of our raffle prizes and silent auction gifts and things like that. The event, I think it ends at 6:30. Please, we need help. We need more ticket sales, and it's really our goal to help sell this out. If we can sell this out, that's $20,000 that we can have going into the next year, which we don't know what's going to happen next year, and it can really help us during these times. Our counseling program is very expensive. It is 100% free to the women and girls that we serve, but it's not free to us. It's $700 per woman. So if we're putting 20 women in there a month, do the math. It's expensive. It really is. So it's not just that. We have like costs for running our support groups too. Those are 100% free to the women and girls that we serve, but it's not free to us. There are costs to doing these things, right? So that's what this fundraiser is for. I typically am not the type to come on here and be like, hey, we need ticket sales. We're not selling tickets. But like I said, it's a vulnerable post for me. We need help. Honestly, we do. I need your support. And honestly, it's been the community that has supported us all this time. And I still count on the community to support us. If you have extra time and extra dollars to just spend on this event, it would mean the world to me. And not just me, but to the women that really count on the services that we offer. So thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to attend, please purchase your ticket through the link. Thanks.